Plant foods versus animal foods. Animal foods tend to be high in fat and cholesterol. They can also contain other compounds that can be detrimental to our health. For example, red meat can contain something called N-glycosylaminuric acid. The immune system can attack this in red meat, and the body can enter a pro-inflammatory state. Over time, this can lead to chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is not the same as acute inflammation. Acute inflammation is something that happens in the short term. Chronic inflammation is inflammation that happens over a long period of time. It can be months or even years. Many researchers believe that many chronic diseases can be linked to chronic inflammation. An inflammatory diet can lead to a condition called leaky gut syndrome. Normally, the lining of our gut is packed tight with the different cells all stuck together. In this way, there is a clear barrier between the inside of our body and the foreign material being digested within our intestines. Once the digestion process is done, these cells then allow the fully digested material through into our body to be used as nutrition and energy. However, in a pro-inflammatory state, this barrier breaks down and allows the incompletely digested material to go through and enter our body. Our immune system normally has no reaction towards fully digested nutrients, but an incompletely digested material is larger, and our immune system will launch an attack against it, as it shouldn't have been allowed to enter our body to begin with. In some cases, this undigested material is similar to our body's own tissues. When this happens, our immune system can mistake our body's own tissues as a foreign invader and launch an attack, leading to an autoimmune disease. Long-term exposure to such inflammation can promote cancer formation as well. Research published in the British Journal of Cancer states that people who eat more fruits and vegetables have a 40 to 50% lower risk of esophageal cancers. There's also a strong link between obesity and cancer. The percentages of cancer cases attributed to being overweight or obese varies for different cancer types, but it was as high as 54% for gallbladder cancer in women and 44% for esophageal adenocarcinoma in men. It's important that we eat more plant foods and less red meats. Plant food contains many beneficial nutrients such as polysaccharides, phytochemicals, antioxidants, as well as fiber to help keep our body healthy with consistently good long-term diet habits. Natural is not necessarily safe. People like to ask if traditional Chinese medicine has side effects or has less side effects. This is just because it's not concentrated enough. Lots of Western medication comes from natural sources as well. Some of the danger from traditional Chinese medicine comes from not knowing exactly what is in it or what the concentration is. If these things aren't known, the effects can't be guaranteed. Still, people tend to think that natural is always safer. Many doctors simply don't have the training regarding Chinese medicines or herbal supplements. In medical school, there isn't any classes on traditional Chinese medicine or herbs. In that case, for doctors, it's often easier to just tell patients not to take something that they don't understand. What we have to remember is that herbs can be split into two broad categories: medicinal herbs and food herbs. Food herbs, such as an orange or rice, are everyday foods that we can eat. These can usually be consumed with no worries at all. After all, what's the worst that can happen from eating too many oranges? Maybe just a bit of stomach upset. However, medicinal herbs can be something to worry about. Herbs such as monk's head can be used as a poison. Tobacco is a medicinal herb, and I'm sure we all know what that can do. In the end, what we have to do to stay healthy is consume a wide variety of food herbs. We should have a diet high in fruits and vegetables for lots of polysaccharides, phytochemicals, and antioxidants. These are the best with few side effects. These help our body stay as healthy as possible. If you want miracle medications, it's all right there in the supermarkets, in the fruits and vegetables. Wholesome and natural versus man-made. Many times we feel that the more complicated the words, the more complicated the ingredients, the more we can't understand them, the better it is. It sounds smarter, it sounds more technological. However, this doesn't always mean something is better. For us, we prefer nature. Modern medicine hasn't actually been around for that long, while Mother Nature has perfected her craft over the millennia. So what is different between something that's natural and something that's been made into a supplement? When something exists in the natural form, it may not be pure, but it exists in synergy with all the other nutrients present. Synthetic pills are pure. They don't coexist with other nutrients and can cause side effects. Let's take something simple as an example, an orange. The way I see it, an orange is made by nature, while a vitamin pill is made by man. Something created by nature is always better than something created by man. When you eat an orange, you're not only taking in the vitamin C, you're also taking in the nutrients that go together with the vitamin C. If you take a vitamin C pill, that's the only thing you'll be getting. In fact, more and more research shows that man-made, highly processed supplements are not very good for us at all. More and more clinical researchers point out that vitamin pills should not be sold over the counter and should be classified as a medication. Now, vitamin pills have their uses to people who are malnourished or have diseases. They take vitamin pills under the supervision and care of a doctor. Vitamin pills are not something for healthy individuals to take as prevention. There is more and more proof that vitamin pills cause us more harm than good. The American Institute for Cancer Research looked at research of over 300,000 people in one of their annual meetings in 2015. They found that selenium could increase the chances of getting melanoma, a type of skin cancer. Vitamin E increases the chances of prostate cancer and osteoporosis. Beta-carotene can increase the chances of lung cancer, while folic acid could increase the chances of colon cancer. The U.S. National Academy of Science looked at the senile population in California who took mega doses of vitamins. They found that people who took vitamin supplements died about 2 to 3 times faster than those who did not. On average, people who took vitamin supplements died about 5% faster than those who did not. Vitamin A increased the death rate by 16%, beta-carotene by 7%, vitamin E by 4%. So, as you can see, vitamins aren't necessarily good for us. Let's look at the side effects of some individual vitamins. Too much vitamin A can affect the fetus in pregnant ladies and potentially cause birth defects. It's also not very good for our bones. Swedish researchers measured vitamin A levels in samples from 2,300 men who were then followed up for about 30 years and then compared the fracture rates between the different groups. The risk of fracture among those with the highest levels of vitamin A was 7 times higher than those with the lowest levels. Harvard Medical School found similar results. They reported that high vitamin A intake almost doubled the risk of hip fracture in postmenopausal women. Overdoses of vitamin A can also cause liver damage. However, you'll never hear of pregnant ladies saying that their baby was affected because they ate too many carrots, or someone getting weak bones because they ate too many tomatoes. Too much vitamin C can cause kidney stones. It can also be hard for someone with diabetes to control their blood sugar levels. In fact, vitamin C doesn't even help us with the common cold. Experts have found little to no benefit from vitamin C for preventing or treating the common cold. Too much vitamin D can cause heart arrhythmias. An 8-year study in Finland found that beta-carotene supplements increase the chances of lung cancer in smokers. Folic acid can increase the chances of lung, colon, and prostate cancer. Now in nature, it exists as folate. When we consume it as part of a natural vegetable, folate is easily eliminated from our bodies. Supplements tend to use folic acid. Our body finds it difficult to eliminate folic acid, and this allows it to build up inside our bodies, leading to side effects. Next time we're looking for specific nutrients or vitamins for our diet, all we have to do is take a look at what we're eating instead of taking the lazy way out and eating a pill instead. Like I mentioned before, if, for example, you want more vitamin C, all you need to do is eat a fruit like an orange. An orange has the vitamin C that you're looking for, as well as all sorts of other nutrients, including many that scientists don't even know the existence of yet. Even with all our technology, we still can't make something similar to what Mother Nature has made, like an orange. We still have no way to recreate it in the laboratory. All of these nutrients are working in synergy with each other, existing in balance. You don't need to take a pill at all. All you need is a wholesome diet. Phytochemicals, antioxidants, polysaccharides. There are more than 5,000 phytochemicals, but we only understand about 1,500 so far. For many of them, we don't even know the function. We can't even recreate them in the laboratory since we don't fully understand them. Phytochemicals can work in many different ways to help prevent cancer. Doctors are commonly asked what causes a particular cancer, especially by patients who are just diagnosed. They'll always ask, why did I get this cancer? Doctors will never say exactly why because they don't know. The doctors might speculate. They blame all the risk factors. For example, we know that smoking increases the chances of getting lung cancer, but we can never say smoking is the sole reason why someone got lung cancer. This is because cancer is caused by so many different things. It could be the pollution in the air. It could be genetics. It could be from drinking too much alcohol. Every type of phytochemical can help block one of the paths leading to cancer, and there are many, many paths. There are so many different ways to help prevent cancer. If we could synthesize a phytochemical in the lab, we might be able to give it in a higher concentration, purify it, but that's still not much help. Every different one blocks one path. So if there were 100,000 paths leading to cancer, then we might have prevented one, and there's still 99,999 left to go. So we need a wide variety of different phytochemicals. We want them working in various ways, stopping various paths leading to cancer. To get a wide variety, we need to pay attention to the food that we eat. Let's look at a few examples. For breakfast, many people like to eat eggs and bacon or ham. Smoked meats, such as ham and bacon, can contain sodium nitrate, which is converted to nitrosamine, a cancer-causing compound. However, strawberries, pineapples, or tomatoes, these foods contain a phytochemical called p-cumaric acid, which can help neutralize nitrosamine. Lots of fried chicken can affect estrogen in our bodies, increasing our risk of breast cancer or other hormone-related cancers. However, if you eat cauliflower, there is a phytochemical called indole-2-carbinol, which can help prevent some hormone-related cancers. There are many types of phytochemicals, and each of them work in different ways. For example, phytochemicals in soy can help prevent angiogenesis in tumors. Lycopene and nominalin in citrus fruits or tomatoes can help prevent metastases. There are so many, and the best way to get all of these wonderful phytochemicals is to eat a wide variety of wholesome fruits and vegetables. Polysaccharides can help our immune system work to the best of its ability. For our macrophages to hunt down and destroy foreign invaders better. For our natural killer cells to find cancer cells better. Mushrooms, in particular, are a good source of polysaccharides. For example, some doctors in Japan will use polysaccharide K in conjunction with chemotherapy to help support the immune system during that stressful treatment. Antioxidants help prevent oxidative damage caused by free radicals in our system. Every single one of us wants to stay healthier, to stay younger, and preserve our appearance of youth. To do that, we need to start taking care of our bodies from the inside out. Our skin can be considered a mirror of what is going on inside of our bodies. So if we want to preserve the appearance of youth, first and foremost, we need to take care of our health. All of these, the phytochemicals, polysaccharides, and antioxidants, we can find all of these in the foods that we eat. There is no need to extract them. They are all right there. We want to eat a wide variety of foods so that we can get a wide variety of the nutrients that we can use to help us stay healthy. Many diseases can be prevented, and it can come down to something as simple as changing our diets. Importance of food safety tests. Food safety is extremely important. As with many other health conditions, cancer takes its time. It doesn't just appear overnight. It doesn't grow as fast as bacteria. In fact, the term early stage cancer is a bit misleading, as a patient may think that the cancer has only happened recently. For example, for a lung cancer to be detectable with modern technology, the cancer has probably been growing slowly for nearly 10 to 20 years. Therefore, if we detect lung cancer at the age of 40, the cancer cells may have already been present in the body since the early 20s. Our immune system works hard to kill cancer cells as they arise, but it's not perfect. To stay healthy, we need to cultivate and maintain healthy habits on a daily basis. We need to take care of our body starting from young. A very important part of that is making sure that the food we eat is safe for us. Bacteria toxins can be very toxic. For example, Botox, commonly used for cosmetic procedures, is derived from the toxin of a bacteria. Just 1 gram of this toxin is enough to kill more than 1 million people. For some people, especially the more frugal, if they see mold on, for example, soybeans, they might just wash it off. If they see mold on dried pepper, they just might cut that bit off and use the rest, and they think it's fine. After all, it's going to be cooked. Yes, cooking will kill most of the bacteria, but not the toxins. The toxins will remain, and what we're concerned about is the toxins. If just one part of it has visible mold, the entire thing has it. Some kinds of toxins can also penetrate the skin. Not even mold can be completely washed or cooked away. For example, coffee beans are roasted at about 180 degrees Celsius. If there's mold, about 50% of it is still there. Aflatoxins are a type of mold that tends to grow in crops. For example, improperly stored peanuts, corns, or grains, especially in moist, warm environments. This is a significant contributor to cancer, especially liver cancer. Of the 550,000 to 600,000 new liver cancer cases worldwide each year, about 25,200 to 155,000 may be attributable to aflatoxin exposure. So if your food has gone bad, just washing and cooking is not enough. Sometimes it's not even visibly apparent. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's fine. So what do? We don't trust our eyes. We test and test and test some more. We do all sorts of testing for antibiotics, poisons, pesticides, heavy metals, and microbial content, to name a few. Every raw ingredient that is sent to us goes through extensive testing. Even if it's been washed, traces of contaminants may remain, and we will find it. Every country also has different standards. Passing all tests for just one country is easy. Passing the test of all the countries is hard. We take the strictest regulations and pass them with flying colors. Testing is also quite complicated and extensive. There is no one blanket test. For example, if we want to know if our ingredient has been contaminated by a pesticide or not, we need to be able to identify the exact pesticide we're looking for. We need to know the name, and only then can we test for it. We need to have the knowledge of what we're looking for to be able to find it. Our technology is also very advanced. We measure quantities in ppm. That means parts per million. That means if there is 1 in a million, we'll find it. What we're paying for is our safety, our health. Unhealthy foods may be cheaper, but in the end, when those negative health effects build up and cause something horrible like cancer, what's the price then? Choose food that you know is healthy. Food that you can eat with peace of mind. That is going to do you good. Food manufacturing process. We also do our best to preserve the nutritional content of our ingredients. Let's take something easy as an example. Apples on the shelves in a supermarket. The nutritional content of any food tends to be the highest when it's ripe and harvested. For a lot of produce, it's picked immature and allowed to ripen en route to supermarkets. When it's separated from the tree, when it's plucked, it starts losing nutritional content as time goes on. So just because an apple looks fresh and ripe on the shelf doesn't mean that it's nutritious. You can see it in everyday life. A lot of people think that frozen food isn't as good. However, if the food has been frozen soon after harvesting, then it could actually have higher nutritional content than something on the shelf because the freezing locks the nutrients in. The longer produce stays on the shelf, the more nutritional content is lost. When picking food, the most important thing is how fresh it is. For our products, we use a freeze-drying process. This process locks the nutritional content in and also removes the water content. Without water, bacteria can't grow, so it doesn't go bad very easily. Our freeze-drying process is different from a normal freezer. If you put a vegetable into the freezer and then thaw it, the vegetable becomes really limp and soggy. This is because ice crystals form sharp edges that can destroy the plant cells in your vegetable. With the freeze-drying process, we avoid these sharp edges so the plant cells aren't pierced. This process takes time. For example, a strawberry would take about 3 to 4 days to be completely freeze-dried, but the nutrients stay intact. When we're looking at our products, we want all the phytochemicals, antioxidants, and polysaccharides we can get. For regular fruits and vegetables, it's best to eat them raw. Cooking can damage certain important enzymes in plant foods, which means that the potency of anti-cancer compounds, such as glucosinolates, are reduced. Certain water-soluble vitamins, such as vitamin C and B, are often lost during the cooking process as well. There are always some exceptions. For example, cooking can help release ferulic acid and asparagus, beta-carotene in carrots, and lycopene in tomatoes. But there are some downsides. Vitamin C levels in tomatoes are reduced by 10% after just 2 minutes of cooking. Minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, iron, and zinc can be reduced by up to 60 to 70%. Beets can lose more than 25% of folate when cooked. So when possible, try to eat your plant foods raw to get the most nutrients. Not only do we take care in preserving nutritional content, our packaging is also very special. Our packaging is from a company in Japan called Toppan. It may look like an ordinary milk carton, but it's actually very special and very expensive. Our packaging has many, many layers, and each of those layers helps keep the product safe from the outside world. So even though our liquid products contain a lot of nutrients, it's hard for them to go bad. Some bacteria need oxygen and water to grow. Our packaging doesn't contain any oxygen, it contains nitrogen, so it's hard for bacteria to grow. We take care of every detail, even down to the packaging. This is the respect we show to our consumers. We only want the best for them. You can do your own experiment at home. You can open up one of our liquid products, pour it into a glass and leave it overnight. In the morning, open up a new one and compare the two. They will be different colors because one of them has had nutrients dissipate while the other is fresh. This is why once you open a carton, you should drink it as soon as possible. The longer you leave it around, the more nutrients are lost. Formulation. Every ingredient has its purpose. Each of our ingredients are picked carefully. We don't just match for flavor. For example, soybeans have many health benefits, including being great for the heart. The US FDA has even awarded soy a health claim. 25 grams of soy protein a day as part of a diet low in saturated fat and cholesterol may reduce the risk of heart disease. So what else goes with soybean? Bananas. Not just because bananas are delicious, but because bananas contain potassium. Potassium is good for our blood vessels and can help lower high blood pressure, which in turn is great for the heart. All of our ingredients are matched carefully, taking into account their nutrients and how they work in synergy to benefit the body. Regeneration. Like disease, good health also doesn't just appear overnight. Some people, especially younger people, think I'm healthy and young, so I can afford to eat a lot of fast food. But as you know by now, disease is a slow progress that can start from young. To stay healthy, to be healthy, we need to give ourselves time to be consistently good, about 2 to 3 months. Our body cells take time to turn over and renew themselves. Once the cell is already existing, we can't magically turn it into a healthier cell. What we want to do is influence our body, give our body plenty of nutrients so that the new cells are made healthy. We have to give our body time to replace the old cells with new, healthier cells. For example, red blood cells take about 120 days to turn over. B cells can take about 5 to 6 weeks. Macrophages can take days to weeks, depending on if there are any foreign invaders to fight or not. Eating healthy is not eating a single healthy meal and expecting effects immediately. As with anything, it takes time for the hard work to show, but some people are impatient. For some people, they go to the supermarket and pick foods based on what they like to eat or what their family likes to eat, instead of what foods will reduce the risk of disease or what foods will encourage their body to be healthier. So many people say that they've improved their diets and yet get no results. There are 2 main reasons for this. Number 1, they haven't improved enough. They're just not eating enough vegetables. For example, you can't upgrade from a huge piece of meat with 1 vegetable to a huge piece of meat with 3 vegetables. That's just not enough. Number 2, they've given up in the middle. You have to be consistent and give yourself time, about 3 months. You need to be consistent in eating healthily. Our immune system is like an army. For an army to work well, they need to be fed a good diet. You can't just eat what you want depending on your moods. For example, getting fried chicken because you're in a bad mood. You can't expect your army to fight for you when you feed it trash. A single salad also isn't going to cut it. Start from young to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Healthy eating habits should be cultivated from young. There is nothing more important than good health. You may have many problems, but when your health is bad, suddenly you've got one huge problem and nothing else seems quite as important anymore. Continuing on, I will be introducing some products. I may be talking about a certain plant food and refer to certain scientific research. But this is not to say that a product containing this plant food would have this type of an effect. It is merely to demonstrate what the scientific community has been researching. Our products are just here for your convenience. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. If you have a medical condition, are taking any medication, or if you are pregnant or lactating, please consult your healthcare professional before taking any product.